Hello, today we're going to give you an overview of how you can save for college with Michigan's 529 college savings plans, the Michigan Education Trust, and the Michigan Education Savings Program. Did you know children of low and moderate income families that save for college are 3 times more likely to attend college and 4 times more likely to graduate than non-savers? Michigan has 3 Section 529 college savings plans. MET, which is a prepaid tuition program. It was the first one in the country and it's been around since 1988. It allows parents, grandparents, or really anyone to prepay college tuition. Essentially, you're buying college credits based upon today's prices now, and then MET pays out at future tuition costs. MESP is a direct sold 529 plan. It's an investment plan and it's been around since the year 2000. You can choose from different investment options, and however that money grows, you can use that on education expenses in the future. MI 529 Advisor Plan is very similar to MESP, but this is an advisor sold program. So you'd work with a financial advisor to invest funds in order to pay for college in the future. This program was started in the year 2009. Since it is an advisor sold program, we're not going to really discuss that during today's presentation, but it is an option for you. There are many similarities between MET and MESP. Even though they're Michigan programs, the benefits don't have to be used at Michigan schools. Benefits can be used at any eligible institution for qualified expenses. This means that it can be used at any institution that's eligible to receive federal financial aid funds. So this can be Michigan schools, out-of-state schools, even some out-of-country schools, trade schools, community colleges, universities, lots of options. If the child doesn't use all their benefits can be transferred to immediate family members of that original beneficiary. This can include siblings, parents, nieces, nephews, cousins, even their own children someday. And if that student does not attend college, you can take a refund on those assets. It would be considered a non-qualified withdrawal, which would mean that you would pay taxes on the earnings portion of that refund. If you use it for qualified education expenses, there are no taxes on the earnings. And the tax benefits really are the most special part of a 529 plan. Since these are Michigan programs, if you are a Michigan resident, you can take a tax deduction on your contributions into these programs. MET, there is no limit on your deduction. Whatever you put in a given calendar year, you can deduct off your state of Michigan income tax return. With MESP, you can deduct up to $5,000 per year for single filers or $10,000 for joint filers. If you use both programs, you can take both deductions. If these programs are used for education expenses in the future, the earnings are going to be considered tax-free. So it does allow you tax-deferred earning potential, which is a huge benefit in comparison to any kind of other account that you would have to pay taxes on the earnings each year. They are treated as completed gifts for federal and estate gift tax purposes. So if you're looking to do that, just consult your tax advisor. When we're talking MET and MESP, it's not an either or scenario. You can use both programs, and that's actually what we encourage. It's kind of like diversifying your portfolio. You have your tuition covered with MET, and you can use your MESP funds to cover room and board and books and all those other expenses. We like to use the 60-40 example here. So if you're saving $300 per month, you could put 180 into a MET program and 120 into MESP. If you did that after 18 years, you could purchase 60 credit hours in a MET program, which is going to be about half a bachelor's degree, and have over $50,000 in your MESP to pay for things like room and board and books. So it really gives you an advantage in your savings plan. Let's talk a little bit more about the MET program. As I mentioned, MET is a prepaid tuition program, so it allows parents, grandparents, or really anyone to buy college credits now based upon today's prices, and then MET will pay out at future tuition costs. You want to think of it like insurance. You don't have to worry about what the stock market does or what the price of college does in the future. MET will worry about that. What we do is we pool everybody's funds together and invest it in order to pay out on our future tuition obligations. But when you buy your college credits, you can know that those credits will be available for use in the future. It is designed to provide in-state tuition and mandatory fees at any Michigan public college and university, but if you go to a private university or an out-of-state school or even a trade school, we have ways of using MET there. It just works a little bit differently. The MET funds are secured by the assets of the trust, so even though this is a state of Michigan program, the funds don't go into a general Michigan fund to be available for other programs. Your MET money is only available for MET. You can choose how to use MET. MET is a lot more flexible than what people realize. Again, designed for Michigan public colleges and universities, but you can use it anywhere federal financial aid can be accepted. So this can be out-of-state schools, trade schools, even some international schools. You can transfer schools, and you can use MET alongside scholarships too. It's not going to prevent you from using your other financial aid. If you don't use all of your MET for your undergrad program, you can use it towards grad school. It'll pay the upper level undergraduate tuition rate, so it won't cover all of grad school, but it will help pay for a good portion of it. You have 15 years from your expected high school graduation date to use your MET. So use it at a school, transfer it to another beneficiary, or terminate it for a refund. Let's say 14 years after your high school graduation, you have MET credits left, but you have your own child, you can transfer those credits to that child. That child then has 15 years from their expected high school graduation date to use MET, transfer MET, or terminate it for a refund. Now let's talk a little bit more about MESP. As I mentioned, MESP is an investment 529. It's direct sold, so you get to choose your investment options, and you have 18 investment options to choose from. Probably the most popular are going to be the enrollment year-based investment options. These are very similar to a target date retirement fund option. So as you get closer to that chosen enrollment year, your investments are going to become a little bit more conservative. You can have more than one investment option. Each time you put money in, you can choose a different option. And during the year, if you decide that you want to change options entirely, you can rebalance your portfolio twice per calendar year. There's a lot of flexibility with an MESP account as well. You can change beneficiaries as you want. You can use it at any school that federal financial aid funds can be used at, including some schools abroad, as well as ones across the country. You can use it for tuition, room and board, books, computers, basically any fee that's required for attendance. Again, lots of similarities between MET and MESP. It is not an either-or situation. If you've purchased a 529 plan, maybe through your bank or a financial advisor, there's a good option or a good chance that that is a different state's 529 plan. So you can actually roll over other 529 plans into a Michigan plan in order to take advantage of the state of Michigan income tax deduction. You also have the option of, if you start with an MESP and you get some growth on that, maybe you want to lock in some of those gains, you can roll a portion of your MESP into MET to pay for tuition as well. So it's a great option to have both types of plans. It really does balance your portfolio out. You have the insurance piece with MET and the investment piece with MESP, tuition with MET, everything else with MESP. For more information, you can contact us. The MET office is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. MESP's call center is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 8. But MESP also has a couple of local consultants here in Southfield as well as East Lansing. Please contact us if you have additional questions or want to learn more information. We're happy to help. Thank you for joining us today.